Back on Hittin Hard with Jon Chuckery here on Locked On Sports Atlanta. Head to youtube.com, put Locked On Sports Atlanta in the search browser. Hit that subscribe button when you get there. Leave us a comment as well. We are also free and available to download on all of your favorite podcast platforms, including Spotify and Odyssey. Leave us a 5-star review. And, of course, give me a follow on my personal Twitter page. That would be at JMCH316. Well, it wasn't the best of weekends for the Atlanta Braves. And look, the St. Louis Cardinals are a good baseball team, right? I mean, they lead their division. They've kind of opened up the lead in that division in the NL Central, and Cardinals are going to be, tough out. They have two really outstanding players. Goldschmidt's most likely going to be the MVP, barring a complete collapse. Arenado is the best third baseman in baseball. Arenado is still maybe the best two-way player in all of Major League Baseball. So no shame in losing 2 out of 3 on the road to the Cardinals, but the back end of the bullpen did have its issues and things like that. So now, is there concern out there? Well, let me give you some of the numbers, and I'll let you guys decide out there. So as far as blown saves go in Major League Baseball, Tampa Bay Rays have blown the most saves in baseball at 29. The god-awful, pawn-scum, disgrace of the earth Cubs are second with 25. And then there's a tie for third between the Atlanta Braves and the low-life, dirtbag, fleabag Miami Marlins. So the Braves sit right now with 24 blown saves, third most in Major League Baseball. Now, the good news is, I guess, even with that many blown saves, and I guess part of the good news is, number one, the fact that you've had a lead in enough games to be able to have a chance to actually have a save, because you have to have a lead to get a save, but that's one part of it. But second of all is, even with that many blown saves, they right now sit at league average. They're 64% in save percentage for the year. So they're not below league average. They are literally right at. The league average is 64%. So they sit right there. What about Kenley Jansen? Jansen so far is 29 of 34 in saves. That's an 85.3% save percentage. That's 5th in the National League right now. So it's not terrible. It's a little bit off what he was last year when he was 38 for 43. So he does have the same number of blown saves this year as he did for all of last year. Last year, he was third best in the National League in save percentage. This year, he's 5th. So 85% in Major League Baseball terms is pretty good, but you'd like to see that number get to 90%. 90% and above, that's where Josh Hader and some of those guys live. That's where you want to live. Now, I know, first thing I'm going to say, well, we had the same problems last year with Will Smith. Actually, if you go look, Will Smith was a little bit better than 85.3%, but that's okay. He was a little bit better. He had 6 blown saves on the season and was a little bit better percentage-wise than what Jansen is. Am I concerned about the back end of the bullpen? No. I mean, I'm really not. I think Jansen has done his job this year. Does it get hairy at times? Yes. But look, the Braves are 1,000 games over 500 on the season, right? Now, the interesting part is, as good as the Braves are last year, anybody know where the Braves were at the same exact time? 129 games in. Anybody know where the Braves, were at this time last year? Anybody want to know? Last year at this time, they were 69 and 60. Oh, well, they're way better this year. Yes, they are. They've got 10 more wins. The difference is at this time last year, they had a 4-game division lead over the Philadelphia Phillies. Bet you didn't know that part of it, did you? Instead of being, in second place right now, where they're 3 games back of the Mets, they actually had a 4-game division lead by this point last year. So again, you got some work to do, and there is a difference in where this team position-wise is year over year. But am I concerned about the back end of the bullpen? No, I like what the Braves have. Yeah, Minter had a rough outing, but he's been outstanding this year. Matzik, Minter, Jansen, Iglesias now in the mix, gives you a hard-throwing right-hander. I think the Braves are going to be fine. Look, all teams, and if you go through the list and you look at blown saves, look, the Tampa Bay Rays are a pretty good team. They lead all of baseball in blown saves. There are some of the Fleabag organizations that are in that mix too, right? The Cubs, Miami, and teams like that. But I'm not overly concerned. The Braves' back end of the bullpen is pretty much on pace for what it was last season. Now, we'll talk more about this in just a second. But first, let me talk about my friends over at Coffee AM. CoffeeAM.com is your website for the best small batch coffee roaster in America, right here in the state of Georgia, up in the Canton area. What a great online coffee company. We were joking on Friday when we had our hangouts that when we open up that box of that coffee from Coffee AM, brother, you talk about just lighting up a whole room and the aroma. Whatever you need. You need organic coffee. You need ground coffee. You need K-cups. You need flavored coffee. You need teas. You need a gift set. You need a mug, whatever. Everything is available at coffeeam.com. So what I want you to do is go to coffeeam.com/lockedon. coffeeam.com/LOCKEDON/lockedon. When you get there, go through their extensive menus of coffees, teas, gift sets. And when you put that first order together, you get to the checkout. I want you to put the coupon code Locked On, LOCKEDON, Locked On. Put that coupon code in, and you'll get 15% off that first order. 15% off your first order at coffeeam.com by using the coupon code Locked On at checkout. Coffeeam.com is the best small batch coffee roaster in America. But if you look at where this team was last year, if you look at Will Smith's numbers, out there, I don't really have a lot of concerns right now. Would you like to see some cleaner finishes and things to games? Sure. But again, how many really super top tier closers in back end of the bullpens are there in Major League Baseball? Josh Hader has had his struggles even in San Diego. He was phenomenal in Milwaukee, but he's had his struggles when he's gotten to San Diego, right? I think the other night they said that his ERA had boosted up, I think, like to 6 or 7 with the Padres. But he's like at 94%, 97% closing this year, right? He's an outstanding closer. But there aren't a ton of those guys anymore. There aren't a whole lot of those guys that you just hand the ball to and they just go out there clean and take care of things. So I don't think the Braves are really any different going into what's going to be the postseason this year than they were last year. I think those same personal frustrations that we had with Will Smith at times we have with Kenley Jansen. But the numbers tell you that they're about at the same percent, about the same statistical area. Jansen's about 3% off of what he was from last year. He was like 88% last year. He's at 85% this year. He was 3rd last year in the National League, 5th this year in save percentage. So it's not drastically different, but there are moments and times when you look at, yes, you don't like seeing the Braves be the 3rd most blown saves in Major League Baseball, but part of that also comes from being 29 games over 500, right? You obviously win a crap ton of games, and you have a lot of games that you have the ability to go get a save. And it tells you that this team has the lead a lot of times, right? There are things that have to bounce in the direction to get you to the point where you have a save situation available to you to either close out or blow. And again, if the Braves were maybe below average or down toward the bottom of the league as far as a save percentage, might be a little bit more concerned if you have a blown save number and a low percentage of closing things out. But the Braves don't. The Braves are at league average. And look, it doesn't take much to get that number to move out. Do I like what I see at times from what the eyeball test tells me? No. But does that mean I have concerns about it going into the playoffs? No. We saw last year that this Braves bullpen was money. And those guys, Minter, Matzik, and some of these guys are back. Iglesias, I think, is a really good addition. I feel like we're going to be okay when we get to the back end of the bullpen. But again, obviously would love to win the division first. Well, let's try to get that taken care of first. All right, when we come back, one Falcon got stiffed. I'll explain all that next. Hitting Hard with Jon Chuckery, Locked on Sports Atlanta.